So today what we're going to be making is homemade pizza, and this is a super easy recipe, and it is just the most delicious pizza that you can make is homemade pizza. So what we're going to start with is of course our dough, and I made this dough last night, and I usually let it sit on my counter covered, and I have it's my bread recipe, and I will put a link to the video of that recipe below. The only difference to the bread recipe that I changed was half of the flour was whole wheat pastry flour. So that's the only difference. Then I've got my tomato sauce right here, and this is my 5-minute quick and easy tomato sauce, and I also have a video of that in my, I'll put a link to that below on my YouTube page. And these are just the toppings, and we keep it very simple, and this is an oil-free, no sodium, no salt, none of that stuff. Just very simple ingredients, and I personally love the pineapple, and so does my husband. And we've got some spinach, we've got some jalapeno peppers for spicy, some mushrooms, very few olives. I think this is the last of my Kalamata olives. Some tomatoes and some onions. You can add whatever you want to your pizza, whatever you have in your fridge, it's your choice. So, oh, and over here I've got some pizza. It's a pizza spice, and it's just a mix of various spices, and we sprinkle this on top before we bake it. So it's really easy. So the first thing I want to do, of course, is make my pizza. And because I bake a lot of bread, I have a bread stone. So I'm not going to use a pan, but I am going to use parchment paper to slide onto my bread stone. You can put your parchment paper in a pan or whatever you have to make your pizza. It doesn't matter. But this is what I'm making my pizza on. And what I want to do is I want to take some flour, sprinkle it on my dough, and then I'm just going to take like an orange size amount. I'm going to dip it in my flour here, shake it off, and then I'm just going to start working it into a circle or a long. Usually they turn out to be kind of long and weird shaped. You can make it as thin or as thick as you want it. Doesn't really matter. And I just pull it, stretch it apart, and push. And it's sticky, so I'll add just a little bit more flour on top. And just stretch it out. Okay, and that's it. And then I'm going to take my sauce. I'm just going to swirl it around. And so this is my son's pizza, and all he wants on his pizza is mushrooms. So I'm just going to put mushrooms, a little bit of everywhere. And then I'm going to let him sprinkle his spices on top. And then we're going to bake this in a preheated oven. I've got it at 510 degrees, and I'm just going to slide it in for about 8 minutes. Okay, so this is my daughter's pizza, and she's going to put her mushrooms where she wants them. So she's going to just place them all over. And so I use this here, and I'm just going to pull it on there, and then I'm going to replace the pizzas. There. And this is the first pizza. That's what it looks like. Okay, so here's my daughter's pizza, and I'm just gonna cut it so you can see, you know, it's nice and cooked. And I usually cut them in 4, and then if they don't eat the whole pizza, then they can have it for lunch the next day. Okay, so this is my pizza, and I usually put some sriracha on top, and I like this sriracha here. And with my crust, I'll dip it into my leftover pizza sauce. And I always make extra pizza sauce for that reason. But that's it. Simple, easy, oil-free pizza. Thanks for watching.